Sure.
Namaskar and welcome to the second season, first episode of What Authors Think. We are in conversation with the author, Mr. Shreyan Laha. He's an author of several science fiction and a senior editor. And with this, we are officially launching the second season of What Authors Think. So, congratulations to me with this. So, before we start talking about, Shreyan Bhai, about your book, I want you to give a brief about yourself to the audience.
Sure. My name is Shreyan Laha, and my I was born and brought up in Jamshedpur in Jharkhand, and wonderful little town, clean water, everything. And from then I went on to do my BCom in Cuttack in Ravenshaw College, and then I did my MBA from XIMB. Uh, So after that, I took up a banking job. I didn't take up. I mean, I was selected for a banking job. I did the banking job for a year or so, and then I shifted to Indian Railways. And currently, I quit Indian Railways, and then I'm, you know, currently a senior editor at a publishing house that is Griffin.
Wow,
That's
that's
all
That's
about
like
me.
a hell lot of experience, banking, then railways, then editing. Okay. So, like after all
Yeah.
these years of working in bank and railways and having a work life, how did you manage to, write? And how did this writing bug bite you?
To be honest, the writing bug beat me out of ego because I saw a lot of, pardon for the very, what should I say,
You can be
politically
genuine
incorrect
about the
term.
words. It's okay.
Yeah, that is, during that phase, I don't know if you remember or not, between 2010 and 11, there were a lot of novels coming up, and every novel had a story similar to Chetan Bhagat's stories.
Oh,
So, all right. So when I saw these guys publishing, I mean, not Chetan Bhagat, but the what should I say, Vana Bhagats. Okay, so when I saw them publishing, I felt like, ye publish kar rahe, ho, why not me? I mean, why
okay.
am I wasting my time writing blogs on the internet? Because at that time, the pre-Facebook or good times, blogs were a big thing, unlike now, where social media has completely taken over. So. Uh, so I was writing blogs, and one of my blogs got popular. One of the posts, sorry, and then that post was also reposted in Redomania. It's still there, but the original posted blog, it's deleted. It was a community post in a site called Bharat Student, if you remember.
Okay.
There was a site long ago. Yeah, so over there was a community over there, the writers community there I used to write. And one of the posts from there got really popular. So I thought, why not shift to, bigger formats,
Yeah.
like
Shame,
writing
I'll
novels.
interrupt you a bit.
So, yeah.
Like audience is asking you to be a bit louder.
Bit louder.
Yes.
Am I audible
Yes,
now?
yes, you were earlier also audible, but a bit louder would be clear. This is fine. Yes, it is okay.
Okay.
Continue. Yeah.
So that's it. So that's how I came to write my first book, and then I got a rude awakening after I wrote my first novel, that is The Adventures of Existence. Many people
Okay.
did not like it. There were one-star reviews, and then I thought, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's learn about writing at first. Let's see which genre suits me, and then I wrote a science fiction novel called Time. No, Not Worth Living For. And fortunately, that clicked, and ever since then, I am writing science fiction novels.
Okay. So, what was the genre of the first book, and when was it published?
It was published in 2014
Okay.
and March 2014, and the name of the book was The Adventures Beyond Existence.
And then, what was the
It
genre
was
it was in?
the genre was paranormal romance.
Okay, that is interesting. So,
Yeah,
you were like never into
but
writing anything normal, either science fiction or paranormal romance, right?
no, 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 no. I mean, I was trying with niches which are not that popular,
Okay.
or which might get popular in the future.
Okay, okay. So for the audience, Shreyan Bhai, Mr. Shreyan Laha is an author of several science fiction, and now I'm coming to know that he wrote the paranormal romance as well. So I want you to
Yes.
read out the names of all the books you have written, along with the particular genres for the audience.
Okay, all right. Thank you. My first book was The Adventures Beyond Existence, and it was, like I said, it was a paranormal romance. It was a story about Slok and Roshni. And even I don't profess a lot about this book. I uh, genuinely keep it under the rug. And I prefer speaking about my other books, that is, from the ones that I published from Not Worth Living For onwards. So, Not Worth Living For is my first successful science fiction book, and it's about a story of two girls. That one girl's name is Ishita. She lives in Mumbai, and she has a normal, usual day-to-day routine of your average girl next door. And then there is a girl called Shweta who lives in an advanced civilization called Istanop. She can't remember how she got there, and she's finding her way. Now, the lives of these two girls are interconnected, and how it's interconnected, the story is about that. Not worth living for. Okay. And then I wrote it sequel, A Tiny Reason to Live. And I would call it a jump sequel
Interesting.
because because uh, the story is completely different with very few overlaps here and there. So you can read the second book first book second, in any way you wish. So it's a story of 10 people who survive an extinction event on Earth, and their flight is slowly but steadily heading to Neptune. And Neptune right now in this story is not like the gaseous planet we know now. It's perfectly habitable. But what made it perfectly habitable? What are the new surprises that await these 10 people? It's a story about that. Um, uh, a tiny reason to live. Okay. And then the next book that I have written is a year without summer. Now, this is based on a real event. In 1816, there was a volcano in what is currently Indonesia, and it exploded with energy of 16 of the most powerful nuclear bombs ever detonated. All right. So when that event happened, the entire world plunged into winter season. The year 1816, no crops grew. People in India died out of cholera and other diseases. People up in north in Norway and all these regions, they suffered heavy rain throughout the year, and it's a story from that what should I say era, about a boy called Sharat who has peculiar dreams every night. And like Sharat, like most people of that era, he lost everything to cholera. People were dying left and right. No one could understand why a place like Kolkata, went so low as minus 15 degrees Celsius. So it's a book about that. And then I wrote Virtually Lost. Virtually Lost is about a woman called Manisha, who is a psychologist, and she enters into this world where everyone is behaving rather strangely and in a very uh, animated manner. Then she comes to realize that this entire city is governed like a social media. The admins, or the people who manage the city, the mayor and everything, the entire department, they are the admins, and there is surveillance on every citizen 24/7, and she cannot escape from this city. Now, what happens to Manisha? It's about that. It's a story about surveillance and data, uh, data infringement and all of that. All of these things are covered. And right now, my latest books, The Scent of Redemption, it has launched 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and in this book, I would talk about it later on in detail. But then in this book, This book is a part of a trilogy. It's the first book of the Redemption series. That much I can say.
That's beautiful. Like after listening to all these book titles and the description brief about it, I can say one thing that you have well researched, and the ego, the thing which started as an ego, has finally converted into a passion of writing continuously and researching continuously. Very interesting book.
Sure.
So,
Researching is
for
I mean, you cannot do without researching.
no, but that is really beautiful and interesting stories. Okay, so like Shreyan Bhai
Thank you.
is the first science fiction author on What Authors Think. Okay, so जब हर कोई young बंदा love stories लिखता है, romance लिखता है, mystery लिखता है, how come only science fiction? Is your love life dead boring?
No, 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 no. I mean, I had a, you know, science fiction is a ray of hope. I mean, what else is science fiction supposed to convey? Despite all the failed relationships, despite all the, short goings, I mean, ongoings and shortcomings in life, uh, that that is something which gives us hope, of a utopian world somewhere, or maybe some characters, straight out of our imagination, the way we wish to be. So that's the reason I chose science. That's another reason why I chose science fiction. It's
Okay.
an escape from everyday reality.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So, coming to
Hmm.
the most recent book of yours, that is The Scent of Redemption. Please give a
Hmm.
brief about it to the audience.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. I'll be more than happy to, because I'm a perfume enthusiast, and this is really close to my, you know, hobbies and personal favorites. So when I started this olfactory journey, collecting different perfumes, so a thought entered into my head that why aren't philosophers? Okay, I was reading all these philosophies as well, and Western philosophies mainly from the medieval age, right from Rene Descartes to modern philosophers like Bertrand Russell or uh, such. And then I realized all of their philosophical perception, it revolved around what we see, what we think, right from the ancient Greco-Roman times. It revolved around what we feel. Why was it not revolving around what we smell? So at that
Okay.
point, it clicked my mind. What about a new planet where the people, you know, use their sense of, I mean, olfactory senses to determine right from wrong, approachable from non-approachable, everything, their day-to-day life. And then I believed, what if I made these aliens into plants? I mean, normally life can be anything. Life can be animals, life can be plants. I mean, unanimously, every science fiction author till today, I mean 99% of them decided to go with Kingdom Animalia for some reason. So why not have vetiver leaves, a forest of sorts, in the open, and the forest is the, what should I say, the extraterrestrial species which
Yeah.
communicate with humans. And then the story is about the story, and then I started coming up with one or two characters, how these characters would traverse through the novel, and then it came down to this pediatrician called Ronit Sarkar. Now, Dr. Ronit Sarkar, in this story, he's a pediatrician and he belongs to a certain ideology. Ideologies of 4000 are very different to the ideologies of now. Okay, so in 4000 AD, according to this story, I mean, the world is infinitely safe. People hear about murders, rapes. They are as rare as cannibalism of sorts. So while this world is extremely safe, he decides to take on a manual surgery. I mean, he's a doctor, and those days everything is assisted through AI or different robotics. He decided to embark on a manual surgery and he botched it, leading to a death of a 4-year-older. Now, this 4-year-old is now due to the death of this 4-year-old, he is deemed unfit to be a human being, and he is sent to the planet of Flarelix, where these aliens thrive, called zizanoids. Now, Chrysopogon zizanoid is the scientific name of vetiver, or the khas leaves that which has a historic fragrant use in India. So I decided to zero in on that and promote this indigenous leaf, indigenous market of sorts. I mean, that was my intention. That's the reason I kept the aliens as the vetiver creatures, so to speak. And these are very advanced. Now, these creatures are so advanced that, I mean, if humans are compared with mouse, I mean, they are as advanced as when we compare ourselves with mice or other insects. So they have a lot to unravel in front of Ronit. Ronit has a lot to learn through this as he's traversing through the planet and everything. So that's the story. That's the gist of the story. You will learn lots more in this novel. And the Zizanoids also profess the philosophy of scent, as as we can infer.
That's really beautiful and interesting story. Congratulations on your new novel. I hope it gets the
Thank you,
all the
thank you.
success it deserves. Because most of the time,
Yes,
really good
I hope
books
so.
come, but because of the promotion and because of
I
this publicity and everything, they just leg back and all the nonsense novels and not nonsense should not
Yeah,
be the word, but all the stories which are very simple and similar, like you
very
told earlier.
common. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Mhm.
common gets into the audience. So it is about
And
that.
one thing,
So like
when I read your novel, 5 hours and 20 minutes,
Stretch 5 hours, 20 minutes.
it was like, yeah, when I read it, I felt that wow, this is such a trippy novel. This is so amazing. I mean, it's like flowing. So that flow I wanted to inculcate in my novel, and that also influenced my writing style. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. It really made this interview special for me.
You know,
Thank you so much.
I wrote an entire acknowledgement page. Now the acknowledgement page is missing. The book is printed without the acknowledgement page.
Oh,
So
okay.
sorry for that. That's
That's
why I'm
totally
going
fine.
and personally acknowledging everyone.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for it. Okay. So, like, how
Mm.
long does, like, you have to research about the book when you write a science fiction? It is not as simple as writing any mystery or romance. So, how long does it took you to do research and write down the novel and publish it, The Scent of Redemption?
Uh, it took me 1 year. Okay, and the researching aspects, it took me 7 months, and within 5 months I wrote the novel.
Okay.
It was easy because I did, and to some extent it got a bit boring. But then I realized this is how it should be if I want the others to feel interested.
Yeah.
All right, because I was going through the same chapter outlines again and again. Then I didn't like anything. I inserted another surprise chapter into one of the stories. Then I introduced a surprise character. Now that surprise character is, having a ripple effect down the entire chapters. So I changed again and again, and it got really frustrating at one point of time. And I was thinking to have a ghost writer
Okay.
employed for me. I
Okay.
mean, doesn't even cost that much. I mean, even editors cost more than ghostwriters. So why not a ghostwriter? I thought. So then I thought, if I have done 99% of the work, why would I call the ghostwriter for the remaining 1%? Let's get over with it.
Exactly.
So I sat down. So I zoned out from the uh, literary world, and I tried to focus on my health for that point of time. And I thought जब interest आएगा तब बाकी लिखेंगे. So the last chapter took around 5 months time. If not for that, I would have completed in 7 months.
Okay. So was it like a period
Uh,
of 12 months total? 1 year?
yeah. 7 months and then 4 months hiatus, and then last
Ah,
month I wrote the last
but
chapter.
still, it is
Okay.
a very short period of time. If you're writing that deep novels, then still you are very fast and dedicated, I believe, because
Mhm.
it usually the moment
Yeah.
people get bored, they take years to come back to the same story. So it is good that you got back in
Mhm.
4 years, 4 months. So
Yeah,
like
that's
you, yeah, you write, most of the science fiction, as you said. So how come this book is different from the other book?
well. This book is, I believe, many people are commenting. Only Afsana did. Thank you, Afsana. And yeah, going back to the topic, uh, the book that can you please repeat once again? I
So
mean that skipped my
my
mind.
point is
Sorry.
like you mostly write, you're writing science fictions mostly.
Science
Okay.
fiction. Yeah,
So
this is
like
not different. This is
at
not
some
different.
point, do you think that, this novel and the past novels are getting the same? So how come this book is different from the other novels you have written?
Other novels. Okay.
That you have written, that you have
During
written. I'm talking about.
see this is this is based on something that I have collected and loved and researched for more than 3 years. That is my love for perfumery is never ending. I collect perfumes every now and then, perfumes others, and even exchange them for new ones when they get a bit old. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I had a lot of knowledge regarding the olfactory. I mean the chemicals and everything regarding what smells like what. Like linalool smells like lemon, and all of them. So I decided to put them to use, and not even 99% of them were worthy of usage. Only 1% of them was. But at the end of the day, this was a novel that I wanted to write for a long time, and the others were novel. It just came into my mind after either watching a movie or watching 3 4 movies, and you know thinking, what if I took it a step further? What if I took it a what if I introduced few characters into the mix? How would it be if there was a comical element to it? So that's the thing. And this novel, it focuses around the area of self discovery and redemption. Because in today's world socio-political climate, I feel people are losing patience and losing trust a lot. And I wanted to write about these things, about second chances, about we need lots of stories about second chances and stories about forgiveness, to keep the ethos of I mean our personal ethos going forward, our Indian ethos going further, because otherwise we'll be divided.
Right.
So that's the thing.
So like when you write a science fiction, so is there any particular inspiration, an author or a scientist behind that inspiration to write all these books?
uh, uh, Inspiration, no, I won't say inspiration, but I do admire a lot of science fiction authors. My latest one being Philip K. Dick. I have been reading his books quite lately, and I was surprised why wasn't I introduced to his books earlier. I mean, earlier I read Asimov and other popular science fiction authors like H.G. Wells, Arthur Clarke. But when I came across Philip K. Dick, and especially his book called UBIK, and that was the book which got me hooked. So
Okay.
I I wish something whenever I write, and that book influenced me in a certain way. That whenever you write something innate, write something, deeper, trust your senses. All right, this book is based on perfume. I mean the philosophy of scent, which is based on my love for perfumes. So we need to trust our senses, and then we have to create something. Uh, Only then we can create something which can be considered rather unique in this repetitive world.
That's interesting. So there is a message from Afsana, unique hobby. So do you keep the used perfume bottles? That's an interesting question. So do you
No, no,
do
no.
you collect this used perfume bottles after you finish using it?
No, 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 no. I never finish first of all. I
Okay.
half complete the bottle and then there's a group on Facebook where we exchange perfumes and all the
Wow.
expensive perfume lovers. There's a group that we keep exchanging these perfumes. So even before it gets complete, I normally exchange and if there's a really amazing bottle, I mean, which is historical in nature or which has a long story. For example, this 4711 perfume.
Okay.
Okay, so this bottle I'm going to keep, and but no, normally I don't keep perfume bottles unless and until they have some significance.
Okay. So there is an impromptu question
Yeah,
in my mind which I really want to ask you. Like, is there any incidents happened that like you're talking about the Facebook group where you exchange expensive perfume with the people who are in the group? So has ever
yeah.
happened that you have given the expensive perfume and in return you got something very cheap that you
No, no,
felt
no.
bad
That,
later on?
that yeah, it happened. It happened because there are sometimes marketing pays off. Okay, so for every perfume brand there are influencers, and
Okay.
perfume brands poach these influencers and they tell them to you know promote this as much as you can, and basically do all the influencer stuff. But if the
Okay.
product isn't that good, I mean, what can you say? So there was one such instance. I won't name the perfume.
Okay.
The- It's called Kutay. Kutay. That's literally the name
You
of the perfume.
were not about
Okay.
to name the perfume, then you named it. It's
No,
okay. Yes.
no, no, the brand
Okay,
name.
the brand. Okay.
So I just didn't like it. I mean, it was
Okay.
all marketing, no substance.
Okay.
It was something like that. That's the thing.
Okay. So, like you have mentioned so many times that you are a perfume enthusiast. So, in the scent of redemption, are the audience going to read any part of you that is very close to your heart about your life?
No, not about my life because the protagonist of this story is completely irredeemable. Irredeemable. He is an ideologically motivated murderer. Okay,
Okay.
first of all, and secondly, his wife leaves him in the second chapter. So there are no redeeming, and because of his faults, he used to control her. So that's the crux of it. My main aim of writing this story was to how to finish a story with a completely irredeemable character as a protagonist. Okay, you can have gray characters, characters can have better shades in them, but a completely how can you proceed forward with a completely redeemable character? That is a challenge. So that is why I wrote this novel with that challenge in mind. So I think apart from the perfume philosophies, there will be no such things that you would relate to any of the characters as such.
But that's the beauty of writing
That's the thing.
fiction that you can
Hmm.
create anything which you are not in real life. So that is
That's
the
true.
beauty.
That's true.
So, Shayan bhai,
I used to watch these
yeah.
Netflix documentaries day and night, these crime Netflix documentaries day and night.
Oh, that inspires you somewhere for the crime writing in the science fiction
Maybe,
crime writing.
maybe I haven't explored that yet avenue yet.
Okay.
In the future,
So,
maybe.
oh, there is again something we would expect a nice perfume as a complimentary with your book. Okay, so you
Yeah,
can increase the
yeah,
price of the
yeah.
book and then put a complimentary perfume.
Take an entire bottle now.
Oh, so Apsana, here is an offer that you can buy and some number of books and you can take an
Sorry.
entire bottle along with it from Sharon. Okay. So as you are a senior editor as well, so how come how this profession of being a senior editor helps you or affects the writing journey?
A lot, because it puts a lot of checks and balances uh, in your literary flow, so to say. So earlier, whenever I used to write, I continually wrote the first draft, and within a week or maybe 2 3 weeks, the novel used to be over. And then I used to pick apart the mistakes one by one, each and every page, and then that process would continue for the next 5 6 5 months, and then I would get the novel published. And then sometimes it happened that I felt that, oh no, these sentences don't match. Well, what was I thinking? Was I in the right frame of mind? That sort of thought comes to your head when you edit vigorously. So and from then on, sometimes the plot, even the plot changes. Uh, so these sorts of panic, while editing others' novels, after editing multiple novels, the panic sorts of goes away. You write slow, write a lot slower. Earlier, I used to write sometimes 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 words. Show in Facebook. Today 10,000 completed. Once I completed NaNoWriMo within 3 days. घर बैठे बैठे. So
Okay.
so that was the thing. Uh, yeah, I was free for those 3 days. That's why. And then what happens is, I have reduced in my speed. I write 100 to 500 words a day, sometimes even less. And but the first draft, which uh, you know, which is produced at the end of the day, it is better than many other authors' third draft or final copies as well. I mean, some of the entry level authors, not the already established ones. So that's one thing which has been taken care of really well through my editing journeys.
So is it like you this question again is from an author to an author, not from an audience.
Hmm.
So is it like you edit the book, edit the drafts at the same time, or you write in a way that you don't need to edit it later on?
No, I write in a way that I don't have to edit it
Oh,
later on. I mean, I
but it is like
think of a
writing
lot of
quality
ways
over
as.
quantity, right?
Mm, yes, absolutely.
Okay. That is a really interesting point to mention in the interview for all the authors,
Uh,
because we usually write a lot, then at the end we find that it was not important
yeah,
to give that much time even.
I
Okay, so like who are
don't
the
know
people?
where.
Yeah, please.
No. Somewhere I heard this suggestion that even test cricketers who have to wrap a game up within 5 days, even they bat so slow. You have an entire year, entire 2 3, your entire life to write, and so why do you have to be in such a hurry? So that is one thing which I keep in my mind. That is all I have to
That's
say.
interesting.
Continue, please.
That's a
Yeah.
interesting point. Okay. So Shreyan bhai, like who are the people, like do you reach anyone to read your first draft? Are there any close people to you whom you reach for the first draft to read?
Close people. I reach out to my sisters.
Okay.
So one of my sisters, she loves reading novels, and I give her a sample of the first 2 chapters or so, and देखो भाई कैसा चला है, and I know the answer that it would be good. So then I move on to the usual people that I find on Facebook, or maybe
Mhm.
even Niladri, like last
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, I mean, they are the only two people,
Oh,
my
that's
sister
good.
and Niladri.
At least you're building a sibling bond somewhere.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
that. Okay. So, like how your personal life affects the writing journey. Is it like you said that your sister reads, so somewhere it is affecting in a positive way only? So, how the other
Hmm.
circumstances about your life affects the writing journey, either in positive or negative way?
Very deep question. These days I'm rather in a very laid back position. So earlier I used to be a lot aggressive. So that used to reflect in the characters. and the novels and the storylines. And the more the more the days went by, the my inner zen, it conveyed me different feelings. I mean, why do you have to be so full of yourself through the characters? So through, let the characters speak for themselves. Let a man in his place feel for himself. Imagine you were a person in his shoes. How would you behave? So all those things, you know, it kept creeping in as days went by.
Okay.
That's the thing I want to say. Mm.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So this was all about the book, but like where the readers can get your book from, and how Amazon, is it available on Amazon in paperback or
Yes, yes, yes,
Kindle
yes.
version? Yeah. Just give a
It's
detail about
currently
that.
it's currently available in Amazon, and in a few days, even the Kindle version will be out. So Amazon would be the place to order, or you can come to my profile and then go to the bio. I mean, the bio is there. You can click on it and order the novel. So
Perfect.
that's the
So,
thing.
so for the
Yeah.
readers, the book is available on Amazon, The Scent of Redemption.
Yeah.
You can get the book from there, paperback. The Kindle version is about to be launched. And either
Mm.
if you want to connect to Shreyan Bhai directly, you can connect him on Instagram and directly go through his
Sure.
bio to order the book as well. Okay. So this
Thank
was
you.
all about the book.
Thank you,
Now,
bro.
yeah. So now we are moving to the second section of the interview, which is right now launched in this season only with the second season, and I have named it as bold, blunt, and weird. Okay, so these are
Okay.
like some weird bold questions, and where you can be completely blunt. No one is judging you. Okay, and the questions would be
Okay.
blunt even. Okay, so starting with that, like, has any reader ever told you to stop writing? You are a bad writer.
Yeah. I mean, my first book itself.
Okay.
There was one star review and there was one word, SUCKS. That's it.
Okay. So
So
did it
yeah.
somewhere
So
stop you
followed
from
by
writing, or was it like a
fo-
reverse of that?
no, actually I did stop writing for 2 years because after that I did my MBA. So I had to, but during MBA there is absolutely no scope to write a novel. So during that phase, I did pause for for 2 years, and then I rethought about my strategies, what to write, what not to write, etc.
Okay. That's tough to get some such reviews and then keep on writing after that. That is a motivation. So,
Yeah.
Shreyan Bhai, like for the readers, for the authors and readers and audience in the interview, like Shreyan Bhai has
Mm.
won some great awards in writing. Okay. So, like
Mm.
Shreyan Bhai, what are your ideas about the genuinity of this awards in writing?
See, it depends on organization to organization. We know who all these 99% of these awards are creating. They are just little children who want some points on their CVs before they join any university or all these. They have to mention something on their CVs, right? So they create all these author award shows and everything. Promise a thousand things. We will give you certificates. We'll give you this that. But actually, it's not such. Actually, the main purpose is for them to take photos with us, and then keep it as a souvenir of sorts. Or then, if one of the 50 authors get popular, then they're uh, they'll have the things to show in the future that, yeah, look, I knew him since day one. So that's the thing. All of them, all of these competition, all of these award ceremonies, they are the product of the intern mind. Okay, so to say.
Okay. So
And
in short,
like
are
the
you
first
saying the awards are 99% of the time like paid awards or something like that?
paid awards, yeah, there are few of them. There are few of them paid awards, and
Okay.
or but there are a lot of you know common awards as well. I mean, traditional awards in a traditional sense, how you are rewarded for your work. But then you have to ask how you are getting those awards. For example, I'll tell you, I got 2014. I won the Rajiv Gandhi Youth Literary Award in Odisha. So over there, I came to know that only one person from the literary genre has been nominated. So obviously, if you one person is nominated, he is going to win. He is the one running in a single horse race, and it is an esteemed a prize, mind you, in Odisha state. Odisha State Congress, they uh, organize this award ceremony. So there I went to the hall, their Congress hall to say, and then I sat over there and I'm looking at other sorts of people. First the scouts and guides people come in, then some exceptional bravery award. Then then someone distributed a pamphlet and I saw, yeah, literature section. Yeah, I'm the only one.
But still, like you won it, right? Because you, anyways, the competition was not there, but you won it. Like there are
Yeah,
awards.
yeah,
Like just to clarify, so that the audience won't get in a negative way. So there are awards which are completely
yeah.
genuine, like
Awards,
Shayan by just share,
genuine.
and there are certain awards just for the namesake, so
They
that
are,
you can
yeah,
yeah, reach to the
they,
publisher.
they
So
are
both are
by
like
the
equal.
intern for the intern, by the intern for the intern awards.
True, true. Okay. So moving on to the third question. Now you have to answer this one also. You cannot, give a diplomatic answer. As you are a perfume
Hmm.
enthusiast. So what is the worst perfume you came across? You have to name one.
I told you, unique luxury kute.
Ah, okay. So this was like
Unique luxury.
that's why it is so blunt
Hands
and
down. I mean, most overrated. All the perfume, it's nauseating to see all these YouTubers, hype this perfume again and again.
yeah.
Nothing special about it.
It's again the same paid promotion, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
spoke in the
yeah.
initial of the interview that sometimes the best story doesn't get that much fame because of promotion and the worst gets.
Promotion. Yeah,
Uh, So
exactly.
if you have to define your life, the present scenario of your life in 2 to 3 words, what would that be? Or the whole life in two to three
Okay.
words. That is also fun.
Oh, po- pause, wait, halt.
Okay.
Because I'm at that stage right now.
Okay.
Pause, wait, and halt.
Okay. And like for the audience, what you are waiting for?
Huh?
If you have to brief about
Anything. A
the
better
romance that is
job,
missing, the romance that is
marriage,
missing.
wedding, anything. What else does
That's
a
a
31-year-old single dude want?
okay. Okay. So like now coming to a serious question, where the actual blunt question which I love to ask to every author about their political belief. So how do you think the present political scenario after the election and everything is going to affect the future of the country?
Future of the country. For us middle classes, it won't affect anything.
Okay.
Let's be honest about this. For us
Okay.
middle class, it will not. And a main thing to see is how the rich are investing. The marginal class, they will be affected. So it's all their votes and their yay to say. And this election, as you have seen, it has said that a lot has to, this nation is still pretty much an agrarian nation. This nation is still pretty much a nation where women are gradually claiming their place. They are getting educated, and a lot of women voters have swung the votes according to their own, uh, line of belief. So that's the thing. But things won't change for us. Everything will be the same. Just like
Okay.
the taxi Driver movie.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a hopeful question.
Uh,
Okay, hopeful answer. Okay, so moving on to the
uh,
last question of this interview, which is again my favorite question because I have always been fascinated with the idea of time travel. And like when I write
mm,
personally, so no matter I write mystery or the present book I'm working on, but the idea is like how this time travel in the present moment also. So like what is your
mm,
idea about time travel as you're a science writer, as you're a science fiction writer? That's what I'm asking. What is your idea
mm,
of time travel?
mm. My idea of time travel is, it would be great if that happens, but a lot of scientists are against time travel. And time travel as a trope in science fiction, it has been overused. I
Okay.
mean, it's like science fiction is incomplete without time travel and VFX. It has gotten to that point. So, after, if you have written science fiction novels for so long, you would warn other people from, taking over that trope or being interested towards that trope. You would want them to be interested in things which are new. So that's the thing that's what I think about time travel.
Okay. So do you think like that
Yeah,
that time travel does exist or not? What is the idea?
it it does. I
It
mean,
does.
why are the astronauts going to space and coming back here?
Okay.
So
Perfect.
that's, I mean, that's a very basic thing, but that for time travel to happen, then I mean that thing should be, the distance and all of that should be, much more of sorts.
So that was all for the
That's the
interview.
thing.
It was
Yeah.
really amazing interview and really amazing to have you after 4 to 5 months of trying to get into the interview and
Trying
not
to get
happening.
into you.
Yeah,
Yes,
starting
that
from the
was a
seventh
completely
episode of season one to the first episode of season
first
two.
episode of season two. That was really the vicious time period for
I
me.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. So again, a big
Mm.
congratulations to Mr. Shreyan Laha for his book,
Thank
The Scent of
you.
Redemption.
Thank
It
you
is
very much,
available
Shubham
on
bhai.
Amazon, so all the audience can go to his bio for ordering, or you can simply search The Scent of Redemption on Amazon and order the book. It is going to be
Thank you.
really interesting, as you have already heard the interview. So go and grab now. Okay.
Thank you.
So see you, Shreyan bhai. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
bhai.
much for your time.
See you.
Bye
See
bye.
you, bro. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.